Welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and oh my goodness, we have a fabulous show coming up. We've got great guests, but in the meantime, I've got reoccurring guests, which I absolutely love. Now, Vegas is doing quite well. It's starting to open up a few venues, and it's starting to get very active. So, which is a good thing for all our entertainers, as you know, the past year and so on. I have Sally Olson with me. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. And then I had Ned Mills with me, right?
Yeah. Hi.
Get both of you. And I had them on before, and of course you've been through this pandemic and this whole thing, and they are entertaining. I mean, you entertain every single weekend. Nearly, beforehand, not now maybe.
Right.
Correct. Right.
Obviously
not
not
quite
now.
as much. Yeah.
Not as much
Yeah.
now. But you're saying not as much. I love that. So that means you still are.
Yeah.
So you've got something coming up this weekend or something coming up soon?
In about a month.
Yeah, February
Yeah,
25th, we're at the Italian American Club.
Fabulous. You there for one night or is it just for the weekend?
Yeah, for one night.
For one
And
night.
We just did a show last week at Chianti Italian Restaurant.
I want to know about this Chianti restaurant. Everybody's talking about it. They're all saying that this is like a new place for people like yourself to go and entertain and everything. Is it fairly new, or what is the story with the
it's
Chianti?
fairly new. It's a very elegant Italian restaurant, great food, and they have a stage, and they have a lot of entertainers coming in, and even with the social distancing requirements, the show must go on, and they're still
And
doing
they've
things.
decided to do that.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the place is big enough for them to do that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So people can be, this sort of, 6 feet apart. And
Yeah, we had
25% of people in the restaurant. I mean, come on.
We had a social distancing sellout last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So did you? If that happens, can you do another show, like a second show, of the same night?
Possibly, but our show's pretty intense. I don't know if we'd want to do two in one
That's what I'm
night.
going to say.
We would have had to start at like 5 o'clock if we were
I
going to
don't
do
have
two
like a
shows.
late
Yeah.
afternoon show and then an evening show would be fabulous. Now, how are you two working together? You've been together for a long time now, haven't you?
It'll be
3
3
years?
years.
3 years.
This Friday.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I remember interviewing you at the beginning when you just got together, and it was such an exciting time because you are the Carpenters, right?
That's right.
Okay, tell me a little story why you are both doing that.
Why we're doing the Carpenters.
Yes.
Well, I started performing as Karen Carpenter back in 2015 when I was living in Vermont.
Okay.
And the show has evolved, and I kept on wanting to do the show, and I had a vision of where I wanted the show to go and what I saw it ultimately being, and part of that involved me coming out to Las Vegas, checking things out, and then I met Ned on that trip 3 years ago, and I needed a Richard Carpenter for the show.
You needed Richard. Well, you look
Richard.
so much. I mean, you both. It's just amazing how two people that you both, not brother and sister, you're two individuals. But it's funny how you can get two people so close. You're both so like them. I mean, it's unbelievable. When you get up on stage, what's the reaction from the audience when you get up there? I mean, it must be,
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a gasp and definitely a chuckle, because not only because we replicate them in character visually as like our hair and our appearance, but we also wear replicas of their costumes. And it's
Really?
always a hoot for people to see me walk out in bell bottoms. Because we're doing
that's right.
we're doing a
was
show
the
from the
70s,
From the
70s.
70s.
Yeah.
So you got
yeah.
these big white bell bottoms on.
And the audience is like, oh, I remember when I used to wear
Yeah,
pants.
then
like
And the
that.
big
that's kind of
butterfly
dating us.
bow
Well, I
ties
don't
and-
remember them
yeah.
at all, to be honest with you. Well, but so how does it go? How does this kind of? How long is the show?
It's an hour and a half.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Is it continuously all their songs or different songs you pick out? Do you pick out the same songs one time and change them? Do you change up the songs?
We have two main shows. Our main show, I open as Herb Alpert because A&M Records, Herb gave the Carpenters their big break. So I double majored in trumpet and piano. So I go out playing trumpet and I do a tribute to Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah.
And then we have a trivia video that's the audience enjoys about Carpenters trivia. And that gives me a chance.
And is that put up on screens, like TV screens,
Yeah.
that you actually go
Right.
back to
Right.
what they did, what they actually did?
Right,
Wow.
and that gives me a chance to quickly transform from Herb Alpert to Richard Carpenter.
And the reason you do that, is that an introduction to sort of let your audience know, let people know how they actually started?
Right, and make
a
a
lot
connection.
of people don't know that.
I didn't know that. I happen to
Right.
know Herb Alpert's daughter. I know her in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Yes, I know
okay.
her. Yeah, she's in and they have that jazz club up on Mulholland and Beverly Glen.
And he's still performing.
Does he still perform there?
He's 85 now.
He's got to be pretty up there.
He was at the Smith Center last year.
It was the year before, 2019. We saw him.
then.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but we in every show we have two shows. One
Right,
is-
we have a second show now since we've seen you last. We
Okay,
put
so
together
our
Christmas
this is
show.
exciting. Oh, you have a Christmas
Carpenters
show.
Christmas
Still
show
the
now, too.
Carpenters show, though. But you can only do that at Christmas time, or you do that any time?
mainly during
Christmas.
Christmas
Just
time,
Christmas
but we'd
time.
love to get more mileage out of it just because, you know, the holiday season is,
It's so
unfortunately, it's not
short.
long enough. So
No, it's
Yeah,
very,
but
very
we
short.
did
What
it in
is-
Texas.
we
last
debuted
month.
it this
We did
past
3
holiday
shows.
season.
Of the holiday season?
Yeah, we
Really?
in Dallas-Fort Worth area. We played the Palace Theater and did 3 shows
Oh,
over
how
there.
wonderful.
Did
Now,
really
how
well.
do you get all your bookings? Do you have an agent? Do you both work it? How do you do that?
Well, up until recently, we were doing it ourselves, booking direct through venues and some local agents, but primarily it was through our own
through your own
persistence.
connections
Yeah.
and who
Right.
you've performed with
Right.
before and what you've done and
And now,
everything.
thank goodness, we have management now.
Now
to
you
take
have
off the
managed.
bu- to
Now,
take the
has that
stress off.
changed things for you? Are you now able to get more jobs, or does he do a lot of publicity for? Because sometimes managers and agents, they
Yeah.
kind of take you on and then that's it.
Yeah.
You still work
Right.
yourself.
Yeah, we just found him recently, so
Okay.
particularly with the COVID crisis going on, he does face a big challenge. But he's very
Well,
aggressive.
so don't you. We all face a
Yeah,
big challenge.
yeah, he's been very aggressive and looking for workforce. He's talking to venues now, so we have our fingers crossed. But we definitely are relieved. It's a big stress release to let him do the calling. And
But
the
aren't you
hustling.
still going to continue doing your calling and doing your stuff? And if you're not, I would
Yeah, I'm always-
I would advise you to.
Yeah.
Before you lose all those
I
contacts.
could never completely step away from the
I
business
would
end.
not. If I
but
were
it's
you,
nice
I
to have
would
somebody
not, because the majority of
helping
people
out.
out there that they don't understand, and I'm not putting managers down or agencies are down at
Yeah.
all, but they have a lot of people that they take care of. So there's
Yeah.
when you only have yourselves to take care of, whereas they have a lot of people, and sometimes it's
Right.
not as aggressive as you don't want to lose your contacts,
Yeah.
because they have them now, and I don't know how you work
Yeah,
that.
we still get calls from even other agencies and to follow professional protocol. We
yeah.
call them back and say hi and introduce ourselves, and then we send them to the manager, and he takes it from there.
Okay.
So
well,
we're
be
still
careful.
aggressive.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always the cautious one, but only
Yeah.
because I've seen this happen so many times, especially in the music business.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So what are your goals now? You've come up to this tremendous challenge that everybody has come up against, which is the COVID-19. So what is your challenge now? You just did a show. You've got a show coming up the end of February. That's a long time. So what are you going to do? You're going to go on the internet or what?
Well, we have done some live streaming shows.
How did that work?
Yeah, well, we did a concert in Vegas at The Space. Are you familiar with The Space?
Very
That was
familiar.
actually the debut performance of our Christmas show, and it was live streamed nationally through 2 live streaming companies.
Oh, how
The first time we
fabulous.
ever did it.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Really?
no pressure.
No
Yeah.
pressure at all. I know
yeah.
what all that means. I mean, it means, we've just gone live, actually. We've just gone on radio. We've got all these radio stations that we just put together. Actually, James Kelly here. By the way, we're down here at Quirky Minds Media, and they just put a whole program together for us, and we've got all our shows in the radio now, so which is really cool. But you might want to start trying doing the same thing,
Yeah.
'Cause you've got to, now, I think you've got to start going up different avenues and start, and I think it's, there's good and bad with this COVID thing, because there's things that you're so used to and you do,
Yeah.
and now there's different things that you can do.
Yeah,
you
we've
know.
been very lucky because even although 2020 was a challenging year for all of us, we probably haven't been any busier than we are now. We spent a lot of last year writing and developing the Christmas show,
Great.
editing video for our 2 live streaming deals. Actually, we did 2 or 3. I'm losing count, and getting that ready. I'm the music arranger of the show.
Oh, great.
Putting that together. A lot of our concerts that we had last year was postponed and rolled over. We have 2 shows in Pennsylvania in September.
So you're
Sally.
getting all booked up for this year,
Yeah,
which is
Sally
really cool.
just signed a deal with Legends in Concert for the Christmas season 2021.
Oh my goodness.
She's going to be
now,
in
what do you mean,
Alabama.
Sally? That means you're doing it by yourself?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
perform
So
with them.
do you
as
perform
Karen
by
Carpenter.
yourselves?
I do.
She does as Karen, and I
Not
do
yet.
my I do my
So-
own thing.
Now, and I've noticed, but you've all probably noticed on set that we have a little doggy here.
Yeah.
What's her name? Because she must be a she because she's wearing a dress.
Yeah, she's all
Yeah.
dressed up.
Her name is Lola.
Whatever Lola wants, she gets. Now,
Yeah.
I understand this was a stray.
Yeah, well, she's a rescue. Her mother, from what we understand, was found abandoned, pregnant with her and her two brothers.
Oh.
And they were all adopted, went to good homes. And when we adopted her, she was 1.5 pounds. And
Oh
now
my
she's
goodness.
ballooned up to 4 pounds.
Oh my
and
goodness, all
So
4
it
pounds.
was Wagging Tail's rescue.
She'll be 7 months
yeah.
old February 2nd.
Oh, how
And
look
she
at her.
loves
She's
people.
lovely.
She'll lick you to death. But
No,
I'll tell you what was
we
funny
both-
is that she was like, I want to get a puppy, and and I'm like, I don't know. I'm a cat person, and so finally got within 2 days she was Daddy's little girl. Now.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. You
Yeah.
see what happens? Well, it
was
is a
it.
go, it is.
Yeah, she's
So, can you shout out where you're going to be and what you're going to be? The American Club,
the
right?
Italian,
The Italian
American
American Club. That's on Sahara, I believe.
February 25th.
Right,
How
it's a
can they get
Thursday.
tickets for that?
They can go to our website, which is carpenterstributeconcert.com, and go to the tour page, and you'll find the date for that show there and a ticket link, or you can go directly to the Italian American Club's website.
Wonderful. And what else? Have you got anything else coming up? You've got a thing in September. But
It's
what
going to
else?
be a while. We're talking with the theater in Downey, California, where the Carpenters are from.
Oh, that's right,
But we're
yes.
all waiting to see, and hopefully we heard that recently venues are starting to open up in California.
Okay.
So that's kind of a wait and see right now.
Talking
And
of the Carpenters, are they? Do they like what you do, or do they help you at all? What you're both doing?
well,
the family?
Richard, well, yeah, of course, Karen is in heaven, and
Yes.
Richard is
Well,
75
we sing to
years
her
young.
all the time.
Yeah, Richard's 75 years young. He knows of us. We
Yes.
haven't met. We kind of, because
Oh.
our version that we do of the show is only 2 years old, we've been kind of waiting to, get everything dialed in
Absolutely
exactly
perfect.
right before we.
We do
knock
have a
on that
close
door.
friend who's a major Carpenters fan, and she has a direct line to his personal secretary. So there has been some, communication with him about our show.
The
We
reason
know
I
that
ask
he's aware of our
question is
show.
because if you want to find out something or you want to bring something into the show, you can get it a Zach from them because they would know, obviously. So that would be easier. Okay, how can anybody reach you?
Well, once again, our website, carpenterstributeconcert.com. Also, we're on Facebook, Sally Olson Carpenters Tribute Concert, and gosh, we're on YouTube and Twitter, Instagram.
They can go on our
Instagram.
tour page, find out where we are, and we are knocking on some doors in Florida, some venues there, in Pennsylvania, September 11 and 12, right?
Yep.
We're at the Theater at North is it Scranton?
Yeah, in
Pennsylvania?
Scranton and then Sellersville Theater in
Awesome.
Sellersville.
So what about Vegas? Are they doing anything for you here?
Yeah. Well, I said, right now, like I said, we had, we just did Chianti. We have Italian American Club in February. There
got a
were
couple
a couple of venues that we did that they postponed but haven't locked in a date yet.
Okay.
There's Starbright Theater
Okay.
and Anthem. Sin
Okay.
City.
I'm sure once
Well, as
things
long
get
as
going
Vegas is
again
coming
here.
up to par and if Vegas is taking care of all their entertainers, I think that's, I think it's getting better. I
Yeah.
understand that the pandemic is getting lower and everything. We're all getting back to normal, whatever normal is going to be, because I think we've all forgotten what normal is.
Working.
Well, because we've
Would
gone
be
into
good,
different
yeah.
things. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. And we'll be back with our next guest. Thank you. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.